finally signed Kirby Dach, a 4-year deal worth $3.3 million AAV. We'll break it all down. We'll give our thoughts, and you watching, comment down below what you thought of the deal. Is it a good deal? What do you expect out of Dach this season and the 4 years we have him for? So, guys, let's get started. Damon, what did you think of the deal?
I woke up surprised. I was not sure that it would be this team friendly, but I'm just really happy it's this team friendly because Kirby Dach is a player who we've seen a lot of flashes of him being a great power forward in the future. But I don't know that it would come so soon. But I'm hoping that this season he can just find the perfect line and settle in well. But it's going to be really exciting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the news today broke very early, but this is the news that we're all waiting for as Habs fans. When are we going to finally sign Kirby Dach? And bam, here we go today. We got the 4-year deal, $3.362 million, as you can see on the screen there. But yeah, very team friendly, like you had mentioned, Damon. And it's interesting too because I think it was also today there was a video of Kent Hughes talking, like the little phone call during the draft where they had initially acquired Kirby Dach. And on the phone, you could hear Doc saying, "Oh, like." How excited he is to be part of the team and how they got like such a good young group going and how he's just, excited to be part of it. So that for sure, I think in my mind is a reason why he would take a team friendly deal as such, because especially with all the trades going down during the off season, you could argue that a deal for Kirby Dach would be more than 3.3 million, like we saw today with just everyone going for crazy numbers in the off season. But yeah, it just shows that he's really like proud to be part of the team, and he's willing to take a little bit of a pay cut, even though he could probably fetch a little bit more, which obviously as Habs fans is very great to see, one for the team, and he believes in the project and the group that we got going forward. What do you think of the deal, Shaner?
Yeah, I like the term first and foremost. Like 4 years, I think is great because in that 4-year span, he has the chance to develop into the player he's supposed to be, right? He was drafted 3rd overall for a reason. He put up 73 points in 62 games with the Saskatoon Blades in 2018, 2019, his draft year. So the talent is there, the potential is there, but it hasn't translated yet at the NHL level. But with the group that we have, with Marty as a coach, we're going to be an offensive-minded team. I think this is the perfect setting for him to really develop and blossom. So in 4 years' time, this deal will be a steal. I guarantee it. $3.3 million for basically a second line center is definitely a steal. We saw what like Nazem Kadri got, right? Obviously, that's a different level of a player right now, but nonetheless, it's still a second line center and a good one at that. I mean, he's 6'4", 197 pounds, and he's got mitts like butter. It's disgusting. So the potential is there, but I love the 4-year deal. Okay, Kent mentioned in his presser that they were toying around with a 2-year, maybe 3-year. They decided to go 4-year, and I think that's phenomenal. Let's give a little Kirby Dach prediction for the season. Point wise, production, line wise, like where do you guys see Kirby Dach at the end of the year?
They already said that I think the second line, I think Kirby Dach might start as a wing or a center with Dvorak and Drouin. I think that would be a good line for him because he doesn't have to worry about playing defense as much on that line. And that line, I think, creates more than they give up. So I think he starts on the wing and then eventually transitions into it as well throughout the season. And then depending on what situation Marty prefers him in or which situation he's more comfortable with, I think that's the position he'll play. But my reasonable point total, I guess, is going to be maybe 35 points because it's going to be a new team for him. So I think 35 points is reasonable for just a fun little early season guess.
Yeah, I could see Kirby fitting in maybe at number 2 center along with Drouin and Anderson. You can imagine the size of that line. It's going to cause havoc for a bunch of opposing teams. Just the thought of that is amazing for us. Plus, you have Slav on the first line, most likely with Suzuki and Cole. It's we're gaining a lot more size on the team. It's a good sight to see for sure. That's one sort of possibility I kind of see him playing for the trios. If not, maybe at wing, and then you have either Monahan or Dvorak at center, like we said, in his position. But for points, kind of with you, Damon, I could kind of see him hitting around. I mean, depending on where he plays, like whether it be second center, third center, obviously it will affect his playing time and his scoring opportunities. But I could see him maybe getting in between, let's say, 35 to 50 points this season. Obviously, depends on where he's going to play, how he fits with his line mates, and how much ice time he's going to get. But that's my prediction for it. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I think we're all in the same ballpark here. I'd go about, 35, 40 for Kirby, depending on who's surrounded with, obviously, given the opportunities he's given. If he gets good power play time, if he has good line mates, that's all a factor that affects his performance. But I think he has the potential, if he stays healthy with good minutes, he can put up 40 points, I'd say, and potentially more. Who knows? I mean, further down the line, I mean, by the end of his contract, I expect him to be, a steady 60-point player. I think that's fair, considering his talent and the role he's going to be given as well. I think he's cementing himself as our future second line center. So I think he's going to be a big production factor for our team moving forward. This year, I mean, we're looking at an offensive team, right? This is something that we're not used to. We're used to being a defensive team with coaches like Claude Julien, Michel Therrien, who are all about defense. I mean, one look at our defensive core and you could tell we're an offensive team, but no jab at our defensemen, but come on, let's be honest here. So I think we'll score a lot of goals, but we'll get a lot of goals scored on us. It's going to be an interesting season, and I think Dach could flourish in that environment in a way where, everything goes right. You're not going to be punished for mistakes. He's 21. This is his fourth season in the NHL already. My God. So like, I think under Marty St. Louis, he could really flourish and do some good. But don't expect too much right away. Obviously, this is a new environment, new team, new line mates. So I think 35 to 40 should be plenty enough.